How y'all doing today? Another episode. I believe this is episode 6 or 7. I don't remember. I'll remember after. Today's date is April the 12th. Well, before I begin on this particular episode, I saw Swifty doing one of his burst videos. And in there, I finally saw the Gnome Hunters. Look, I know a whole bunch of you guys are going to do the... now I'm echoing. But I did do a test, and there's no echo when I played back through, which is cool. Well, anyways, I know a lot of you guys are going to be doing the Demon Hunters. I'm rolling a Gnome Hunter. That's so cool. I mean... Granted, some people are upset because the characters are breaking the lore, but quite honestly, they did that a long time ago with the characters, so just might as well just bring it all open. Down the road, Demon Hunters will be every race. Every class should be every race. Point simple. Also, too, things that had come up, and the most not controversial subject. Whole bunch of babies are crying about it, and it's the server shuts down. This private server, NOS, or whatever, stealing property from Blizzard. And a lot of people are saying they're not stealing it. Yes, you are. You're stealing it. It's a intellectual rights. I can't pronounce that intellectual thing. It's a copywritten thing. It's against the TOS. It's against the rules. Point blank. Real simple. If you take things in the game to put it on a server that requires a subscription fee or money to purchase the game, but you're doing all that for free, well, you're ripping it off. It's real simple. Okay, each expansion, well, not each expansion, going up to level 60. Let's just assume that the private server is level 60, okay? So everyone is playing the game for free up to level 60. And that's $20 already past the level of 20 to 60. That's $20. And we're only talking about one person. And then it's $15. I'm going to grab my calculator here. That's $15 a month for a whole year. So Blizzard lost $180 subscription fee to one player. Okay? And they had 800,000 players. Okay. That's in the millions. And $20 times 800,000 players. That comes out to $16 million that could have been bought with expansions that you can play up to Mr. Pandera, which is their battle chest. Now, that's not stealing. That's money that Blizzard was not going to see. And I didn't even calculate the $15 a month times 800,000 people. So let me just say this. You crybabies, QQ doing the change petition org, you know what? Give it up. It ain't going to happen. Thank God your server got shut down. Go rip someone else off, but don't rip off Blizzard. And thank you, Blizzard, for not pulling the tracer thing. Oh my God, they're crying. We have to cater to the PC-friendly college kids, crybabies generation. Get over it. And now they're swarming the forums. They're swarming the Facebook groups. I can't believe that they closed it down. You know what? I'm glad they're closing it down. And I don't want to go on a rant about it because that's not what the subject is about. Because I'm going to go complete opposite. Oh, before I do get into the main topic, the time walking is going to begin. It's going to be Cataclysm Dungeons. I'm actually thinking about doing my first time walking. I don't know how the whole thing works. I don't think I can just queue into it. I think I have to be in a group. Yeah. Wishing to do anything with other players in an MMO is unrealistic. So I'm hoping that I can queue into the time walking. I really am. Because trying to get a guild to do a time walking is I've been waiting since Mr. Pandera to do things in the guild. That don't happen. You have to be in a clique or you have to kiss up to make it. I'm not that kind of person. I tell it like it is, and I'm honest. People don't like that. Anyways, so I'm hoping to do some Cataclysm. That would be cool. Man, that would be awesome. To go back to reminisce in a legit way. Not in a rip-off type way. So, with that, excuse me. With that, during the week, I was having lunch at work. And during my lunch, I'd ask my friend, Lauren, hey, so any announcement for the BlizzCon? She's like, nah, nothing was showing up on my Facebook. Well, she logged in on her Facebook. It was about like 12:30 something. And sure enough, there was a post, the official date. So a couple episodes, I am going to be talking about BlizzCon and the coolness of BlizzCon. And I'm going to start from the top, the 2012 to 2013. So that way I can have a good couple episodes leading up to this one in particular. 2012, they canceled the BlizzCon. And this is like a little BlizzCon story for you guys. It might go all the way through, depending on the time. The BlizzCon 2012 was canceled. And the guild that I was in at the time, during Cataclysm, I think I was during Cataclysm. I was during Mr. Pandera. I think I was during Mob. Can't remember. I asked a question, and again, you don't ask questions in the guild because I swear to God, you ask a question in the guild, they would just chew you out. And it's always been like that since Cataclysm. I learned you don't ever ask a question in guild, and I always tend to forget that. It's better to ask in trade chat than actually ask a guild. All guilds. You don't ask a question in a guild. Anyways, I'm going into the rant. I don't want to. So, I asked, what is BlizzCon? And after getting ripped about it, I decided just to log out. I go on to Google because I was bored and I was curious. And I found out BlizzCon is a place, it's a short word for Blizzard Entertainment. Just shorten it up, called BlizzCon. It's a con. And they go to the Anaheim Convention Center every year. They pick a weekend out of the year. And apparently it upset a lot of people that they were canceling this. So I did some research, found out about it, and I decided that I think, because I know they're going to bring back BlizzCon. I know they were going to bring back BlizzCon because of the outcry from the cancellation. So I decided to attack online. And what I mean by attack is get known on Twitter, get known on Facebook, get known on the Twitch streams, get known on YouTube, to try to get my name. Because I wanted to go to an event where people just cry out my name, Pod! And, you got a fan. Because somebody might think I'm awesome or that I'm a decent person. So now that became a goal. And BlizzCon 2013, when it was announced it was going to happen, I decided that's when I'm going to kick everything off. I used to be called, my video recordings used to be called JLB3 Productions. And I decided to change it to JLB3 Gaming Entertainment Studios. And I created rules. Under the JLB3 Productions flagship, or whatever you want to call it, I was recording videos with family, like a real world thing that you see on MTV. So that was the concept of following me and everything. Because I moved from Indiana, and when I moved to Florida, I wanted to do video recordings. And that was the only thing I could think of. This is before I discovered gaming. And when BlizzCon 2013 was going to happen, they introduced, or they had pets, but to me it was new. that if you bought the virtual ticket, you would get in-game goodies. And the only thing I cared about was the pet, because I just was getting into the pet battles, and I was actually making a video on making fun of this Pokemon wannabe thing from Blizzard Entertainment and how stupid it was. It turned out to be addicting and fun. The most accidental discovery of unique fun was pet battles. I got so caught up on pet battles that I didn't think I was going to have fun with it. So I decided, okay, BlizzCon 2013. So what I'm going to do is make it a year thing. Every BlizzCon is going to be my 1 year celebration of being online and being somebody. Okay? So when I decided to do the BlizzCon virtual ticket, I had 0 followers on Twitter. I had hardly any friends on my Facebook group, on my Facebook page, and I knew nobody online. So I decided that I was going to pretend that I was at BlizzCon. And on my Twitter, I connected my Facebook to my Twitter. And anything that I was finding out on DirecTV, I was announcing it as though it was happening. Well, apparently, a lot of people on their DirecTV, their internet went down. And people at BlizzCon could not send information out because the internet was terrible. The internet just went dead. And I was traveling around on Twitter, just following folks and commenting what was going on at the Anaheim Convention Center. So within 5 minutes after the first, I want to say, hour and a half of BlizzCon, I wound up with 326 followers. That's a lot. Where are these people coming from? And my direct messages from people were, where are you at so we can communicate? Because apparently you can get the message out there. Because people were sending text messages to their friends and they're like, hey, our internet went down. DirecTV is down. We can't see what's going on. And people were following me because I was the inside information kind of guy. And I'm like, I'm not there. I'm here. I'm sitting in my apartment. So BlizzCon 2013 was an accidental success. That was the best weekend. And I'm like, I want to do that again. I want to get prepared for BlizzCon 2014. So I started making some videos, and then I slacked off. There was no motivation to make content. I tried making content, but you can see there were like 8 months of nothing in between, and a random video just coming up out of nowhere. Usually that was the gnome run for breast cancer research. And then go silent. Come back in October, go silent. The back and forth. So that was BlizzCon 2013, the virtual ticket type thing. And I was going to do a weekend thing planned here to do for BlizzCon 2014. So I guess I can continue because I still in good time. All right. So as I'm getting ready for BlizzCon 2014, it's announced the dates and the ticket sales. Well, I had the money on that Wednesday, but I was too tired and I was playing in the game and I didn't care for the tickets. Well, the Saturday for the second batch, at work on my lunch, I had some people tell me in the guild, hey, Bod, you should try for the BlizzCon tickets. I'm like, no, I don't want to go. Everyone's not getting their tickets because Eventbrite, people getting kicked out, people were denied and didn't come back. There was a whole hassle in 2014 on that Wednesday batch. So I decided, okay, I'm going to take a lunch at work, and during my lunch, which was 12 o'clock, which was weirdly odd, I'll go for the BlizzCon tickets. I don't care if I get a ticket or not because I already have it planned that I'm going to be in my apartment here. I knew nobody online, so, and me and people do not get along. I'm not very social. The only way I could be social with people is if I don't know how I could be social with people. I fail at that, except for when I'm at work because I have to. It's quite different if you're not at work and you're trying to communicate with people. It's not the same atmosphere. So I got my ticket at lunch on a crappy piece of junk computer. And everyone in the forums was saying you have to have the best computer, the best of this, the best of that. I was using outdated Windows because you know how jobs are, retail that is. It's like we're in the Windows 10. They're still using Windows XP, which was a good OS, by the way. So, sorry for drinking water. I have to because my mouth dries up and I can't talk through it because I get nervous, my brain. And I already talked about all that stuff, and I'm not going to get back into it. So, I finally got my ticket, and then I'm like, shoot, how do I do the hotels? Well, Elvine has a LBF BlizzCon. I think it's LBF. I don't know what it is. Looking for more BlizzCon or something like that. Where people that sell their BlizzCon tickets that change their mind if they don't want to go, they can post their ticket sales at ticket cost, not $400. That's the eBay scammers. And then he has a section about hotels. Well, there was one person by the name of Terry who had a hotel room at the Hilton from Thursday to Sunday morning. I'm like, all right. Thursday night to Sunday morning, I'm going to try for that. And so I connected through an email with the person, and she sent me to a group called the Blizz Nerds 2000, or not Blizz Nerds, it was a BlizzCon 2014 group. I'm like, okay, is this a top secret group? And so I was trolled attacked by a lot of people in that group because I said I'm new. I'm going to be sleeping in the Hilton, and I should have never done that. People who hate the Hilton just attacked me for it. And the Hilton was awesome. It was great. The only complaint from her was that it was, I think she said that the beds were small or there was no, I don't know. It was so not important that I could care less. I'm there for BlizzCon. I'm not there for the luxuries. My luxury is downstairs. And the Hilton is not what people say it is. When people say that the security will kick you out after 10, 12 o'clock at night, no, they won't. Because people were smoking their cigarettes at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning right outside the door with security standing there. There's security inside the Hilton at 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning. When we were walking around with Jeff, who was dressed up as Grommish Hellscream, security was loving it. Nobody is saying nothing, and they had the DJ blasting music. So you could stop with the Hilton hate. Just because you want to bring in drugs and you want to get drunk to destroy things, yeah, Hilton, I'm glad what you do. Kick those knuckleheads out. They're like the people who give the BlizzCon attendees a bad name. So now with neighbor outside smoking, because he can smoke it through. Anyways, so the BlizzCon 2014, I'm in the group, not paying any attention to it. So I show up down there, or actually I take the Greyhound. I'm taking a Greyhound from Panama City Beach, Florida, all the way to Anaheim, California, and that was a trip itself. Texas is a big state. You can tell anyone how big a state is until you drive through it. You don't know. Just because you look at a map and you know your calculations, yeah, drive through it. I would rather understand the directions from a map, calculate the miles, than actually travel through it. Because that's, oh my God, that was a terrible fail. But when we got to New Mexico, oh, wait a minute, before I begin, this is really cool. We had we stopped at, it was before Dallas. I think it was after Houston, though. And Houston's a terrible Greyhound bus station. They tell me to stand there and wait for my turn to get onto the bus. The bus I was supposed to get on was still there. Had I not asked another question, I swear to God, what is it with people when you ask a question? Because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know where to be. So I asked the lady, "Excuse me, ma'am, but I'm supposed to go to Dallas. This is my ticket, and am I supposed to go to the door, or am I supposed to stand here and wait?" She's like, "No, you're supposed to go to the door." So I barely got on the ticket, or barely got on the bus. Trust me, if I would have missed that bus, I would have went back home. That was it. That would have been done. And blizzcon 2015 would not have happened. So we got onto that bus, and then there was a stop before Dallas. We picked up this guy who had the police department around him, and he did his time. I think he was in for rape. Okay, so we're on the bus. He's sitting at the front of the bus. He was actually really cool to talk to. When you go on a Greyhound bus, you tend to have conversations with complete strangers because we're all suffering. Now get this. We go to Dallas. This female is dressed in all orange. Racist that you can beyond your imagination. She hates men. She had two options. One option was sit with the guy in the front who is a rapist or ex-convict, or sit with me. I knew what her choice was going to be. She's going to sit with the guy up front. Sure enough, she did. So for the rest of the state, I had no one sitting beside me. I could stretch out a little bit, fall asleep, relax. I was like, oh. And then the guy in the front, the ex-convict, told her what he went to prison for because it somehow got brought up in a conversation. She went ballistic, scared, and the bus driver told her, "Go to the back or I'm kicking you off the bus." So she had to sit in the back, and when she did, she told some black people to go sit with them. She said that loud and almost got one of the passengers removed from the bus because he wasn't dealing with it, and I don't blame him. And so everyone just ignored her. So I sat with one of the people that was in the back, one of the African Americans. He just sat with me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm sorry for the female back there. She only represents her own stupidity." And come to find out, where I used to live, which was Hammond, Indiana, he is trying to go back to Hammond, Indiana. So we had a good conversation, a little bit of home on the way to blizzcon. On the way, we hit New Mexico, and apparently in one of the areas, when the bus driver backed up, the spotter did a terrible job spotting the axle brakes. So we had to go inside, and the bus driver told us that we're going to be on the same bus. I don't see how we're going to be on the same bus. So he decided to change his mind. We're going to go onto a different bus so we wouldn't miss our connections. And the orange lady, I'm calling her orange because she wore all flat out bright orange. I went to her and told her, "Look, I know you hate people, but you got two options. Get your things, or your things are going to be stuck here because we're going on a new bus here in 5 minutes." Oh, she cursed me out a storm for telling her that. Hey, it is what it is. You're welcome. So, and it was a decent bus. And Greyhound buses back in the early 90s, they used old fashioned. I'm used to those Greyhounds. These Greyhounds, you got Wi-Fi, you can plug in your cell phone to charge. I'm like, when did they come up with this? This is cool. This is luxury. So it was an experience on its own. Come to find out, I cannot eat when I'm when I'm on these Greyhound buses. I can't eat. So for 3 days and 4 nights, I cannot sleep and I cannot eat. So I am starving. And even if you get off the bus to stretch out, I can't eat. My I can't eat. I'm full. Shockingly, I'm full. I know, right? So during this whole time, I got all these doubts about BlizzCon because I'm very antisocial. Nobody is sitting with me except for that black guy, which was cool. And I think he got off at San Diego. Well, the bus breaks on the way to San Diego, and at this point on the travel, that I'm like, I'm going to be late to Anaheim. I want to come in at 9 o'clock in the morning, according to what's going on with the schedule. I'm supposed to be no, I was going to be in Anaheim at 12 o'clock, based on the new breakdown schedule. When I'm supposed to be there at 8 o'clock in the morning. No, 9 o'clock. I'm sorry. So I wound up in San Diego, which is where I was supposed to be, and I asked to get a ticket back to Panama City Beach, Florida. I've already canceled my BlizzCon. I've had enough. The whole trip was hectic, and even before BlizzCon started, my cameras stopped working the day of, and the SD cards were copy protected in the new cameras. I'm like, everything that can go wrong did. And so to calm down, I took a city bus at 12 o'clock in the afternoon to get to the Greyhound bus station. Come to find out, that was perfect because had I gone there at that time, I would have missed the bus. And I would have gotten there at 3. And my bus was leaving at 7. You're like, well, how would you miss it? Because the stupid hours, they close every other hour. And we had a line of people, and some of those people missed getting on the bus because they weren't there on time. I got my ticket to get on the Greyhound at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Win-win. And that was perfect because at 12 o'clock they were closed. At 1 o'clock they were open. Well, anyways, so I'm at San Diego, and the people at the San Diego bus station and asked me where I was going. I told them I was going to Anaheim, California. I'm from Panama City Beach, Florida. I was going there for BlizzCon. And apparently they knew what I was talking about. They're like, is this your first, your second, third? I'm like, no, this is my first. And they're like, oh, no, you're going. I'm like, no, I want to go back home. The security guards at the Greyhound bus station refused to take me on a bus that would send me back home. So I got put on a one-way bus. It's an express that would get me to Anaheim, California at 7:30. I was supposed to be there at 8. With this new connection, I would get there at 12. So now I'm going to get there at 7:30 on the express. I'm like, fine, I'll go. Convincing me to go after traveling this long. So I went to I'm now in Anaheim, and I remember looking at Google Earth, from the Greyhound bus station to the Hilton and the Anaheim Convention Center. I seen everything on the map, so I followed the signs, and everyone told me you can't miss the convention center because it's big and it's right in front of your face, and there's a water fountain out there. Well, there is a water fountain there. Rinky-dink small thing. The convention center on the main road was small. There's no glass. Okay, I have not eaten for 3 days and 4 nights. Been on a Greyhound bus. I sit down at the water fountain and I'm in tears because I don't know where everything's at. I've never been here before. I've seen the Hilton. You can't ask questions in the BlizzCon group because you get trolled attacked. You're made fun of. You're stupid. You're dumb. So I'm sitting there going, what the hell was I thinking? I would give anything to be at home right now, to sit on my computer, to do the virtual ticket, and pretend I'm there. So I decided to do the Bodconian thing. Just suck it up, enjoy myself, have a good time. I mean, the Hilton's right there. I obviously I see the Hilton. So I put my glasses on so I can hide the tears. My body just wanted to give out. I'm serious. If you travel that long, you're going to get tired, okay? So I'm walking. I don't know if I should do pictures. I don't think I'm going to do pictures. I'm walking down from where the StarCraft entry doors are at. Hang on a second. When I'm walking, okay, you got the StarCraft tournament area. Okay, you got the doors that go in. Well, from those doors, there's this pathway. It's got palm trees. I call them palm trees. They got palm trees. They got the parking garage to the Hilton, and you got all these little bushes along the way. So I'm walking, and I'm seeing BlizzCon signs. So apparently, I'm in the right vicinity. So I'm somewhere close by. And I was informed that waiting for your badge is a 10-hour thing. You'll stand all day waiting. And I saw no people. That's the problem. I saw no one. Well, I saw as I'm walking down the sidewalk, I'm not looking to my right. I'm from Chicago. I see glass in a building. No one's going to come out there. But if I see shrubs and trees in a parking garage, criminals are going to come out of this area and I'm going to get killed. I'm going to look to my left. I'm not going to look to my right. So as I'm looking forward, I see a people standing from the glass of the doors going towards the shrubs and the trees. Now, mind you, I'm still a distance away. So I'm walking cautiously. I get in the line, pretending I know what the line's for. I ask the guy in front of me, is this the line for the BlizzCon? I ain't paying attention to the building, because there's people that can potentially come from behind. You gotta understand, I get nervous around these things. And he just looked at me like I'm stupid. Okay, so the people started coming in from behind me. Now, mind you, this is about 8:10, 8:15, all right? And I'm asking them, so is this the line to the BlizzCon? No one's saying nothing. Alrighty. Well, as you're standing there, the sun starts to come up over the Marriott, and when that sun beams out, it's hot. I had my sweater on, but as soon as that sun revealed itself, I had to remove my sweater, and I got blinded by a reflection. It was the glass. I see the banners. The water fountain shoots up, and then I stand there going, oh, that's the Anaheim Convention Center. There's the fountain. And yes, this is the line to the BlizzCon. Now who's stupid? So the badge, the doors open at 9 o'clock in the morning. And I didn't know where it was at because I wasn't going to go to the front of the line to go back in my spot. Because everyone said it takes 10 hours. And Terry told me on a cell phone text that, hey, it's going to take you a while to get your badge. Well, the doors open up at 9. I came back to the water fountain about 9:30, and there was no one else standing in line to get their badge. I already got my badge in 30 minutes. Where's this 10-hour thing? There sure wasn't any. So I told her I already got my badge. It wasn't a 10-hour wait. No, you're kidding. So finally, about 3 o'clock in the afternoon, she shows up. Earlier in the day, I saw Elvine. He was walking to the water fountain. And I followed, trying to get my camera to work, and my camera decided, oh, I'm not going to work for you. Because I was going to take a picture of him. And I told Elvine, hey, on every hour, the water fountain shoes up. And he's like, okay, guys, we got to go to the badge line. Because I got business I got to take care of. Now, the friends that he was with could just give me these weird, dirty looks. And I was just trying to be social. And as he walked away, it hits me. This is not his first rodeo. He's done BlizzCon before. So yeah, I got to get used to not talking so loud on this thing. So I think he knows about it. Oh my god, I was so embarrassed. I was like, oh my god, I just want to go to the hotel room and just go to sleep. So Terry tells me she's back. Bajura walks by the door to the glass doors of the Hilton. I was like, no, my chance to get a picture with my GM because I'm in Bajura's Army in Darkspear. I was like, no, my one shot. That's not going to happen again. Or I don't think so. Well, anyways, it was an experience. I met Chris, guy who has he had a horde symbol in his shirt. It was really cool. I came across Murky, came across Dave Steele, and Saps. We're good friends to this day, all because of BlizzCon. And it was an experience I'll never forget. Metallica was playing. That was the kicker. I just went there for the movie panel. That was the Metallica was the bonus, and I was going to go see the opening ceremony. And Chris was like, "No, you got to go to the Blizzard store because you'll be there all day and everything will sell out. You can see the opening ceremony there." And I'm glad I listened to him. And it was. I got to meet Swifty, Mike Morheim. Oh my God, who else? Ian. I can't pronounce his last name. Hazz. He's known as the Watcher. Okay. I see other people in these fancy shirts, and I didn't know they worked for Blizzard Entertainment. So I met Haddad. I took pictures with Bajura, Tally, and Warcraft Jin at the same time. Elvine. That was the people that I got to meet was amazing. Everyone treated me like I was normal. I met Swifty, his sister, and Jamal. Oh my god, the watermelon stuff. It was because I followed them on YouTube, and it was an experience I'll never forget. And yeah, that was my first nerve-wracking social awkward moment in my entire life. And during that time, I was thinking I would like to come to BlizzCon with other people. I think other people would have a great time because I had a great time. So I decided at BlizzCon 2015, I'm gonna make it happen. Just out of the blue, I'm like, Misty, you want to go? She's like, yeah, sure. She doesn't even play the games, and I wanted to know some of the people in the BlizzCon 2015 group, and that was the greatest decision I ever made. Kitra, Christy, Shauna, the admins of the BlizzCon group was outstanding, and apparently on the Facebook, Matthew liked what I was saying, and when I finally met him there, he was much cooler than he is on Facebook. Everyone is. I am. I'm in that group. You know, if I type something out, it's an attack like, oh my god, Vodkonian's stupid. He doesn't know what he's talking about. He's all full retard. But when I'm there, it's like, in the words of Kitra, she's like, you are nothing like how you are in the group. You're awesome. And she loved the dedication that me and my sister had to help ease for the dinner. And Christy, I got to meet Christy. That was awesome. You got to understand, when you talk to the people all year long in these BlizzCon groups and you meet them face to face, I'll tell you what, it's like you know each other. And everyone, geez, I'm walking by and someone's screaming my name, Bod, and I'm like, wow, yeah. It was awesome because it was the people that was in the group. You communicate, you talk, you chime a lot. You You just speak. You're just active in the group. And when people see you, it's a whole different thing. So I joined several of the guilds, the Riders of Rohan, the Awakened, out of that, because it's the people that I met there, and I met the members of Pawncast, and they were beyond amazing from the YouTube videos. To me, they're e-celebrities. They aren't when you ask them, but to me they are. And that's the concept that's really cool, is the people that are famous just walk up and ask for a picture, and they'll take a picture, and they talk to you just normal, like they've known you. That's the cool thing about BlizzCon, is the people are down to earth. We're all there with the same passion, Blizzard Entertainment. And you don't even have to play the games to have a good time. My sister don't even play the games, and she had a better time than me. But I know the second time around she's going to have a better blast than she did the first time. Because the first time you go, you're unaware of what's going on. Second time you go, you're comfortable. You just know that you know what to do. You don't move as fast. You're more at a controlled pace. Your first time there, everything is overwhelming. Your second time, it's not as overwhelming because you've done it already. You've been there already. You know the rules. You know the gameplay. You know the stress. You know the details. You got a game plan how everything is done. It makes BlizzCon your second time much better than your first time. And you'll make mistakes in your first BlizzCon, and you'll correct it the second time around. Like, I recorded maybe 2 or 3 videos of me talking, and actually no, I recorded 2 videos of me talking, and I recorded a video of me walking through the crowd, and I recorded a video of me on the Greyhound bus on my way there. And all the other videos that I recorded was just statues. That's all I recorded was statues. And I sat back watching those videos going, oh my God, what was I thinking? So the next time around, I recorded it like a vlog. As you saw, there were like 8 episodes. Much better than the first time. And I didn't want to upload those because there were nothing there to upload. I didn't give myself any options to edit any videos to post. But being active in the BlizzCon groups and talking with people is what made BlizzCon better, because you recognize the people, you talk to the people, you see the people, and you're like, oh wait a minute, you're so and so. Oh my God, you high five. It's like you knew each other, and you become friends for life with these people. And when BlizzCon 2016 was announced, I was excited. The BlizzCon 2016 group, the Blizz Nerds, the Blizz Stuff group, the Battle to BlizzCon, and the members of Pawncast, Saps, Kitra, Christy. There's so many people. Matthew, Dave, Evan. Evan, you got to be there this time again. Tibbs doing his stand in the front. Murky, you better have your butt there. And you too, Dan. Anyone else I missed, I do apologize. My brain's going 50 miles per second. Now, this BlizzCon is going to be a little different for me than the first 2, because I'm going with or without a ticket. And if you've been to BlizzCon, you can totally understand. Unless you're addicted to the panels. If you're addicted to the panels, then you don't understand. It's the after parties. It's the stuff that happens in between. It's what happens at the water fountain. It's what happens when the cosplayers are standing in between the glass doors and the entrance going into BlizzCon itself. It's the cosplayers outside that will take pictures. It's the people you talk to in the Hilton during the day, during Thursday, while you're sitting there eating lunch, and you see one of the members of the group, like Murky, sitting there by himself, and me and Misty decided, we're going to sit beside him just so, he doesn't feel alone. And he's like, man, Bod, you got impeccable timing. I was just getting ready to get up and do stuff. Hey, I just wanted you to know, dude, that we're here with each other. We're family. It's basically is what it is. It's a family environment. And everyone is so down to earth. It's so amazing. And That's what makes the BlizzCon, is the memories, is the people that you encounter. It's what, sure, you got the panels, but quite honestly, I spent more time outside than I did inside. Yeah, sure, me and Misty got lost at one time. And when she got lost, she went her way and I went my way because she was sitting at the water fountain and I just walked away. I told her that I was going to go charge my camera at the Hilton. And she said, well, I don't want to be in there to watch you charge your camera for an hour. I'm going to sit here and at the water fountain and enjoy things. She doesn't remember that because the last thing she remembers is she sees me walk away. She's wondering what the heck's going on. And then in the blink of an eye, I'm gone. I disappeared. That's the trick with BlizzCon, is you need to keep an eye on someone, because if you don't, we all look the same, we look the same, we talk the same, and you'll lose us in a crowd. And proof of that is the opening ceremony. My sister is going to hate me for saying this. We're right on top of each other going in the doors, right? And I told her, you need to keep your eyes on my head the entire time, because if you don't, you'll lose me. She didn't believe me. She turned her head real quick. I was gone. Because the doors had opened, everyone's going in. She turned her head, I disappeared. So now I'm looking for my sister, and I seen her, and I screamed, and she just happened to look at me, and I'm like, get up here. And she's like, oh my God, her hands started to shake. And then when we showed the security guard are inside of our bags because, security reasons and your badge, we bum rushed to the seats. We sat down, and Misty was trying to close the bag, and her hands were like this. She goes, it was like I got Parkinson's. I can't close it. So I took her left hand and her right hand to prevent her from shaking so I can close the bag itself. It was hilarious. And she's like, I don't know why I'm getting excited. I don't know what the heck is going on. And they were advertising and talking about StarCraft because StarCraft was going to end. And they were going to do many updates as the years go by. So, that was hilarious. In the opening ceremony, we got to do that. And then we left, walked out, did our thing, went back in, doing other things. But that's basically what BlizzCon, and I covered all of that. I thought I was going to do a couple episodes on this. Cool, awesome. Well, since that is BlizzCon, what are you guys going to do? Is any of you guys going to BlizzCon? If anyone's going to leave a comment on it, which hardly anyone does. But if you're going to BlizzCon, you want to have good shoes. Make sure you have good shoes. And there's no body odor smell. I've never encountered that with all the people that I'm standing with. Just take care of your normal hygiene stuff. That covers all of it. Also, there's a CVS on the corner where the Sheridan West, which is next door to the Hilton. You can buy your medication for migraines if you have those, which is a good place for your migraines. My sister had those, but the climate there in California, she didn't have any migraines. Just a couple of drinks of Sprite, she's good to go all day long. And she could be on her feet for 12 hours, and she can't walk longer than 5 or 6 hours. And then when we do sit down, we're sitting down for an hour and a half. She said she was comfortable. She was fine. So the climate there in California was actually perfect, but it was dry. So water is important. So I was buying water bottles at the CVS. And Christy, who had a room at the Sheraton West, which was a good room, great Wi-Fi too, by the way, and she had some supply of little food gatherings because we showed up Wednesday night and left Monday morning. So that was really cool. So I'm hoping to do that again. And I love the Sheraton. I wanted to stay with Dave at the Clarion, and me and Misty didn't. I don't know what changed up on that. I kind of wish I did. I don't know. When you go for your ticket, you just find out what's going to happen next, and you just go from there. So other than that, It's just like a reunion. It's a family reunion. If you've never been to BlizzCon, you don't understand. Sure, people want to argue, man, it's $200. I can watch that on a virtual ticket for $35. Excuse me, but you've never been there. Okay? It's very legit. And virtual ticket does not give you the full BlizzCon experience. It only gives you, I want to say, I'm going to pull percentages out my butt. It's probably going to be a lot less than what I'm going to give, 10%. The virtual ticket only gives you 10% of what goes on at BlizzCon. When I went there, okay, I did a virtual ticket in 2013 compared to going to BlizzCon 2014. My first reaction was, why can't the virtual ticket show any of this? This is what made BlizzCon, not the panels. I can't even remember, except for the movie Warcraft panel. That's it. I can't tell you anything else. And I was excited for Warlords, and look where that got me. So I didn't get excited for Legion. But because I think they're going to copy Warlords in some kind of way. They always copy from their last expansion and get rid of stuff that work and keep things that don't work. That's Blizzard Entertainment for you. But regardless of that, it's a family reunion. And I'm going to be repeating all that again. Guess I ran out of things to say. Well, as always, at the end of the episode, I'm going to talk about my week in WoW. So, I finally got my legendary ring. Got it upgraded to 738. I'm going to focus on the ring on my one tune on Argent Dawn. And I'm actually going to try for full conquest. I'm going to do Friday, Saturday, and Sundays, do full Avenger runs. They're really good pre-mades. But I didn't do this after a couple weeks or a couple months from it. I should have. I've been too lazy about it. But I've been focusing getting my Valor on my main tune to upgrade my ring. I did all the LFRs. And I don't know, that was about it. Came up with some machinima ideas, but that didn't go anywhere. I wonder, did I get a mount in a dungeon? I can't even remember if I did that. Oh, holy cow. I can't even remember. Oh my god, that's... I did a lot of dungeon runs to get gear. And I was farming the blue Proto Drake in the Lich King, one of the Lich King dungeons. Can't remember which one. But I did some of I did Pixa's dailies on the new tune on Argent Dawn. So I can raid with the Riders of Rohan. And also, I think I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to do full conquest. So if Bell and the RBG team need a DPS, I can go in. I got to be full conquest for that. So I'll be working on my conquest gear. Other than that, not much really I can add. Other than that, just remember the time walking. It's going to be Cataclysm. Oh, and also this weekend they're having the Strangleton Vow fishing thing. I think that's either on Saturday or Sunday. I think there's a heirloom ring that goes in with that. Oh, and those heirlooms, it's an epic fail mission no matter what the percentage. You got to be 100% or it's a fail. So, and on my tune on Argent Dawn, I'm working on the 100 and I think it's 126 stones, Agabator stones or something. I think I'm at 30 something. But other than that, that was my week in WoW.